Alright, now let's look at this question. This is all about data warehousing. Option A says handles only batch based data ingestion workflows. Batch based data workflows restricts the warehouse's processing capability and will omit the support for real-time operational workloads. Therefore, wrong answer. We'll move to B. B says enables both real-time streaming and batch data processing. Both real-time streaming and batch data processing allows the data warehouse to manage varied modern workloads with efficiency. Let's keep it. We'll move to now option C. C says offers native support for online analytical processing features. Native support for online analytical processing features enhances analysis but doesn't define the warehouse's core function. Wrong answer. We'll move to now option D. D says retains only unprocessed or raw datasets. Unprocessed or raw datasets will miss the data warehouse's capability to store both raw inputs and processed outputs for analytics. So this is a wrong answer. We'll lock option B as the correct choice. Alright, now let's look at this question. Option A says Azure SQL database single database. Azure SQL database single database doesn't support database mail or service broker, making it unsuitable for workloads that rely on these features. The wrong answer. We'll move to B. B says Azure SQL database elastic pool. Azure SQL database elastic pool has the same feature limitations as the single database, making it unsuitable for workloads that depend on unsupported capabilities. Wrong choice. We'll move to C. C says Azure SQL Managed Instance. Azure SQL Managed Instance supports database mail and service broker while lowering maintenance effort through built-in platform management. Looks good. We can keep it. We'll move to now D. D says SQL Server on Azure VMs. SQL Server on Azure VMs supports the required features but increases maintenance effort due to the need for managing infrastructure. We'll reject it and we'll lock option C, SQL managed instance, that is SQL Azure SQL MI as the right answer. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is all about syncing changes from blob storage to external cache. Option A is hot access tier. A hot access tier manages storage cost and access performance but doesn't support tracking changes to blobs. Incorrect. We'll move to B. B says change feed. Change feed records blob level updates in a sequential log, allowing external systems to sync changes with high efficiency. Let's keep it. We'll move to C. C says snapshots. Snapshots preserves the blob's state at a specific point in time but doesn't alert external systems when changes occur. So wrong answer. We'll move to now D. D says versioning. Versioning keeps previous blob versions after updates, but again doesn't enable syncing the changes to external systems based on event. Wrong answer. We'll lock option B, change feed, as the right choice. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is all about Synapse Analytics. Option A is Synapse Pipelines. Synapse pipelines move and transform data across services but do not enable HTAP, that is hybrid transaction and analytical processing, on live Cosmos DB datasets. Wrong answer. We'll move to now B. B says Synapse SQL Pull. Synapse SQL Pull enables analytical processing but depends on preloaded data from Cosmos DB, which blocks hybrid transaction and analytical processing HTAP queries on the live datasets. Let's reject it. We'll move to now option C. C says Synapse Link. Synapse Link enables HTAP by integrating Cosmos DB with Synapse Analytics, allowing real-time insights without copying data. We'll keep it. We'll move to D. D says Synapse Studio. Synapse Studio offers a workforce or offers a workspace for development and management, but doesn't support again HTAP integration with Cosmos DB. Incorrect. We'll lock option C, Synapse Link, as the right choice. Alright, this is a classic question related to the type of analytics. You got to be familiar about this concept, because these all are very important. The options which you are seeing, you got to be knowing the theory around it for this. Option E says predictive. Predictive analytics uses historical data to estimate future outcomes rather than summarizing current or past performance. As the name suggests, predictive means predicting something, right? So therefore wrong answer. We'll move to B. B says prescriptive. So we know who gives the prescription, right? So prescriptive analytics uses data insights to suggest actionable steps rather than just displaying past or current information. Wrong answer. We'll move to option C. C says descriptive. Descriptive analytics summarizes historical sales data to highlight performance patterns across different regions. Let's keep it. We'll move to now D. D says diagnostic. Diagnostic analytics reveals the underlying causes of business outcomes by analyzing patterns and correlations in historical data. We'll reject it. We'll lock option C, descriptive, as the right answer. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is about streaming workload. Option E says archiving financial transactions that are over a month old into cold storage. Archiving monthly old transaction reflects a batch operation which lacks the continuous data flow required for a streaming workload. Incorrect. We'll move to now B. B says uploading daily sales transactions from retail POS systems to a central database. Daily uploads from POS systems follow scheduled batch processing, which lacks the uninterrupted flow required for a streaming workload. Wrong choice. We'll move to now option C. C says continuously transmitting telemetry readings from distributed edge devices to a cloud endpoint. The continuous flow of data supports real-time ingestion and processing, which defines a streaming workload. Let's keep it. We'll move to D. D says pushing cloud infrastructure logs at a fixed 30-minute intervals for monitoring. Fixed interval logging lacks the immediate and continuous flow required to qualify as a streaming workload. Let's delete this. We'll lock option C as the right choice. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is about Microsoft Power BI tool. Option E says Charticulator. Charticulator is built for custom visuals. As the name suggests, if you look chart here, right, and it's not meant for building paginated reports as required by the question. A is wrong. We'll move to now option B. B says Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop focuses on interactive analytics, not fixed layouts, paginated reports. Wrong choice. We'll move to now C. C says Power BI Service. Power BI Service enables sharing and collaboration, not authoring paginated reports. Let's reject it. We'll move to D. D says Power BI Report Builder. Power BI Report Builder is used to create paginated reports with detailed layout control, delivering print-ready output designed for precision and formatting accuracy. Let's lock option D. Power BI Report Builder as the right choice. Alright, now let's look at this question. This will test your concepts on data warehouse. Option A says enable complex reporting by aggregating data from multiple enterprise systems. A data warehouse enables complex queries across multiple data sources for analytical insights. Let's keep it. We'll move to B. B says perform data format conversions between operation sources and analytics platforms. Transformation, we know, is a part of ETL or ELT processes, right? What we do in Informatica, Ab Initio, Medallion, those kind of tools, right? And it's not the code function of data warehouse, definitely. B is wrong. We'll move to now option C. C says store historical structured and unstructured data in read-only format for analysis. Storing historical data is a feature of data warehouses, but their purpose is to support analytical querying across sources. We'll delete this. We'll move to now D. D says host transactional data for core business applications like CRM or ERP. Transactional workloads are handled by OLTP systems, that is, online transactional processing systems, not data warehouses. Wrong choice. We'll lock option E as the right answer. Alright, we got a multiple choice question. We need to select 3 correct answers. Option E says denormalized data. Denormalized data increases redundancy and storage overhead, which contradicts the efficiency goals of online transactional processing, that is OLTP systems. Wrong answer. We'll move to B. B says heavy writes and moderate reads. High volume write operations such as inserts and updates combined with moderate level querying characterize the transactional output of online transaction processing, that is OLTP systems. Let's keep it. We'll move to C. C says schema defined in database. In OLTP systems, the relational schema is explicitly defined and stored within the database to enforce structured data structure, integrity constraints, and consistent transaction behavior. This again looks good. We'll move to now D. D says normalized data. Normalized data in OLTP systems is structured into related tables to eliminate redundancy, enforcing relational integrity, and streamlining update operations across transactional workflows. Looks good. We'll lock option B, C, and D as the right answers. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is about Synapse Analytics, Data Lake Storage, Gen 2, and T-SQL. Option E says Azure Functions. Azure Functions handle event-driven logic, not T-SQL based querying from Synapse. Incorrect. We'll move to B. B says Microsoft SQL Server Integration Services. SSIS is designed for ETL workflows, not for querying external files using T-SQL. Wrong choice. We'll move to C. C says Polybase. Polybase enables T-SQL queries on external data sources by bridging Azure Synapse Analytics with platforms like Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, allowing seamless access without data movement. Let's keep it. We'll move to now option D. D says Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory moves and transforms data but doesn't support querying with T-SQL from Synapse. That being said, option D is out. We'll lock option C, Polybase, as the right answer. So please don't go away. Let's meet in next part of this series.